Breaking news. They have closed the airspace. It has just been confirmed that the airspace has been closed in much of Iran. Let's see if we can see this without radar or if there are still flights. But anyway, we're broadcasting live. We're watching how the situation in Iran is changing, how things are changing. By the way, we'll talk about Venezuela later too, but right now let's focus on the topic of Iran because Donald Trump is already announcing that he already approves actions in Iran. So things are going to change apparently after what is happening and what we're seeing. In those attacks that the regime of the Ayatollahs has carried out against its own population, the decision has been made to make a move, obviously. By the way, thank you very much to Carden. I just saw the super chat he sent us in the other live stream. Thank you so much, Carden. I don't know if you're in this stream, but I appreciate it. To the community that supports us, know that your support is essential for this channel to exist. Those who support with Super Chat, those who support with membership, I truly thank you, and I think the whole community does too. I hope I can thank everyone who is supporting us in that way as well. To those who are subscribed, obviously, thank you as well. Clearly, those who make that extra effort to support us, well, it's obviously extremely important. What's happening? Why is exile reported and why is airspace involved? These issues are closely related. With the news that the United States under Trump is already approving support for the protests. Now, what he says is not clear, and that's what I think he doesn't want to say. But it's not that it's unclear, it's more that it's not convenient to talk about it. It's about what kind of support it will be. I mean, if it's going to be armed support, if it's going to be support with intelligence forces, how is the support from Donald Trump going to be? That's the part that's being analyzed right now, and we should also keep an eye on it. What will be the reaction from the senators, from the congressmen of the United States? Who, well, have often put a stop to certain points on this issue. What's going to happen? I mean, what is going to happen with what's going on? Let's start first with what's happening with Iran's airspace, right? To see if it's possible to observe whether there really is a closure or if that closure is not in effect yet. Come on, announcing it is one thing, but actually enforcing it is another, right? Look, from what we've already seen, there are airspace closures like what happened with Venezuela, right? So they say there's an airspace closure, but what we're experiencing right now, I don't see it. I mean, I don't see it in this area. Look, you guys are active. We'll have to wait for tonight's broadcast to see if the airspace closure is already in effect or not, if it's being respected or not. But look, here's a Turkish airline that's flying. It's a commercial airline, and here's another airline, Flyness, also commercial. Let's see another one over here. This is also another commercial airline. I mean, that one is heading to Dubai. Here's another one too. This is a flight from Kuwait. So what movement are we talking about? The airspace is open according to what we can see on FlyRadar. So the airspace closure, at least for now, doesn't seem to be working. That's something we also need to clarify. We need to keep looking into it. Even if the report is there, I mean, even if they're talking about a supposedly closed airspace, at least, well, from the United States, there won't be any flights. I mean, from the United States, or that's the famous notice to airmen, right? But other countries won't necessarily respect it. In that case, American commercial planes won't fly through there, and many other countries rely on the notice to airmen. So many other countries that might have tried to fly through there will go around it. What does it mean when the notice to airmen gives this notice? The airspace isn't officially closed, similar to what happened in Venezuela, where it also wasn't officially closed, but it was by the United States. What you see is that something is coming through the air. I mean, it could be them, it could be something else. Something is going to happen. They say our commercial planes don't go in there because it's not safe, because something is about to happen. That's what I know now. It might be psychological pressure or real pressure that something is coming. That needs clarification. So, is this notice to airmen so that American planes don't fly in any case? But this, well, we'll be watching it later on, right? What it is, let's say, within this message. The closure of the airspace seems to be related to the possible activation of air defenses amid the escalation of protests. We should also remember that reconnaissance drones have been flying. According to reports, there are also military preparations due to high regional tensions, including possible tensions with Israel and the United States. There are already reports that airlines have suspended scheduled flights for safety reasons today. I don't have the number of how many, so we'll have to wait for more details, but anyway, things are happening on that front. It's not the first time we've seen this kind of movement in Iran, right? There have been other occasions. A while ago, we saw that there is already a report from journalists who are in the area in which they claim there are multiple dozens, hundreds. Reports say deaths have reached 3,000, the highest number yet. The official figure is 500 people dead, thousands detained. There are numbers of 10,000, which is lower, up to 20,000 and even more detained as well. And unfortunately, many of those detained will not survive because they are facing capital punishment charges. So it's really tough. And I think that at this point, it also requires help. It needs help, and we'll see if that help comes or not. The population is taking all the risks. They're starting to arm themselves. People are starting to arm themselves, and that's also something that stands out. In the northern part, especially, several armed groups are already being reported. It's not the same. Civilians can't get the same weapons as the military. The military is already moving into different areas. We already talked about that in the last broadcast, but anyway, let's keep an eye on that issue. By the way, there's a report right now that also caught my attention, and it's that United States senators are forcing a vote to prevent military attacks on Trump in Greenland. Another thing that catches my attention right now, United States senators are already taking action at this moment because this also started to accelerate a lot on Trump's part. And in breaking news, United States senators are seeking to block a possible military attack by Trump on Danish territory after capturing Maduro. The reality check? In the Senate, United States senators are leading, led by Tim Kaine, a Democrat but who has Republican support. He has announced that they are going to force a vote to prevent any military action by Trump in Greenland. President Trump declared yesterday that he will take action. He even said it was on Friday, right? Friday, he said. By any means necessary? Were they going to head towards Greenland? The Senate passed a bipartisan resolution blocking future incursions into Venezuela, but now they're also holding a vote to block incursions into Greenland, right? That's also important right now. Well, right now it's being reported that Trump has already approved taking action, that is, taking direct action in Iran, according to what analysts are reporting. Right now, it's not about whether actions will be taken or not, but what kind of actions, says Donald Trump. Let's go into the details of what is known so far. But given how things started today, given how the whole situation in Iran started this morning, the decision has been made. Donald Trump confirms this according to sources cited by the Jerusalem Post. President Trump is determined to support Iranian protesters demonstrating against the Islamic Republic regime. The country is experiencing a new wave of massive demonstrations, driven by discontent with this theocratic government and also by the economic crisis. The protests have been severely repressed, especially in the early hours of today. That was the worst part. The talks have intensified in recent days, and members of Trump's inner circle and security advisors have revealed this to the Israeli media, that it has already been approved internally, that is, within Trump's inner circle. It has already been approved that they are going to help. Yes, they are going to help the Iranians, but it has not been decided how they are going to intervene. The possible options include selective military strikes by the United States and cyber operations against the Iranian regime's infrastructure. Another proposal is to provide more Starlink systems to the Iranian protesters, with the goal of breaking the information blackout imposed by the government. It is already known that Starlink has been provided by someone, I don't know who, maybe by some agency, some intelligence service, possibly. It has also been a direct attack against Iran is being considered, although this could reignite conflicts in the Middle East, but that possibility is being analyzed. The most viable option is a cyber attack and also intelligence operations. But the cyber attack would target all of the government's surveillance systems. And blocking all communication systems of the Iranian government would be a feat. Any move by Trump, even this one, whether directly or through intelligence, they say it could also have an effect on possible reactions from Iran or from countries that are friends with Iran, right? So they also have to measure how far they're going to expose themselves to possible actions or counterattacks from a country close to Iran or from Iran itself, right? That's what's being analyzed right now, according to the Eurostar's post. They don't have this information, but I thought it was interesting to mention. Now let's move on to several topics, since we're already talking about this situation with Iran. There's a report that comes from Netanyahu himself over there in Israel, right? The Israeli Prime Minister says that soon Iran and Israel may be able to work together. Netanyahu says that when the Ayatollah's regime collapses, Israel and Iran will be able to rebuild a historic alliance. The Israeli Prime Minister stated that the two countries will become loyal allies again when the Iranian people are freed from the yoke of tyranny, in a move that has surprised the political landscape. Above all, because this comment possibly also shows that Israel will be supporting and helping these protests. Israel openly supports the protests. Israel openly supports the protests. Openly supports the protests. The person detained by the United States and imprisoned in New York, Nicolas Maduro, was captured with his wife, Celia. As you know, he has been held at the Metropolitan Detention Center for a week and a day. He openly supports the detainee held by the United States in prison in New York. Nicholas was captured with his wife Celia and has been held at the Metropolitan Detention Center for a week and a day. He openly supports the protests. He openly supports the protests. Let's move on to other important matters. Also, in other important matters, there is a report in this case about how things are being experienced. The character openly supports it. Detained by the United States in a New York prison, Nicholas was captured. As you know, he has been held for a week and a day at the Metropolitan Detention Center. The character detained by the United States and imprisoned in New York, Nicolas Maduro, openly supports the protests as he has been held for a week. In how it is being experienced. The character detained by the United States and imprisoned in New York, Nicolas, openly supports the protests. You are experiencing this with him. He openly supports the protests. He openly supports Israel. He openly supports the protests. He openly supports the protests. Israel openly supports speeches. Israel openly supports the speeches. Israel openly supports the protests. Israel openly supports the protests. Israel openly supports protests. And well, the most extreme or the toughest part would be for these areas of Michigan, Alaska, and Maine. The red alert in Maine, for example, mentions 9 inches. In the northeastern and northwestern counties, in Aroostook, also in Piscataquis, and also in Somerset, it has been declared that it's better not to travel in those areas because it's extremely dangerous. In Michigan, less snow is expected, but strong winds, so for Sheboygan and Prescott counties. It could also bring strong winds up to 60 or 70 kilometers per hour, along with possible snowfall, so that's why there's also a risk. And in Alaska, there are already areas like Firestrand, Goldstream, Nenana, and Tanana Flat, where there are reports of up to 10 inches of snow. Just imagine, that's nearly 200 kilometers per hour for the winds. It's quite a situation. Let's quickly go to the comments. A little while ago, we talked about what's happening with the situation in Greenland. Take a look at that situation because it's really intense, and in a moment, we'll talk about other topics. We will surely be paying attention to what's happening in the world. Well, it's a pretty crazy Sunday today, and we've already started 10 days into the year, 10 days since the year began. But yeah, super active. And well, the weekends don't let anyone rest because the news is really intense. But anyway, here we are. Happy to be here, paying attention to what's happening and trying to bring you the information as it happens. Today we did an analysis that we had pending about the series Dark, and a comment made by someone from military intelligence regarding what they have in the United States in what is the National Air and Counterintelligence Center. So, if you can check it out for those who like the unidentified flying object topic in a serious way but also with an open mind. Since they're asking for your opinion if we upload the analysis, which is a 20 to 25 minute broadcast, hopefully you'll enjoy it. And because we're already preparing the second part, so if not, they'll get it ready for you. Greetings. So, how have you been? Thank you, Monica Patramo. Hi, how have you been? Greetings to everyone. At least Congress has already said no, right? Exactly. Congress is putting a limit on Donald Trump in that sense. If not, this becomes madness, right? Thanks a lot, Jose. Thanks for all your comments. Greetings to Francisco Arce. How have you been, Jose? Zarate? Very good. Enjoy your meal. Everyone about to eat. Today is the weekend and we used to having lunch and dinner. Don't really have a meal. We have a little late breakfast and then we eat. We have dinner, right? It's a little later, right? So, well, enjoy your meal to those who are already eating, right? And for us, not yet. Leti Castillo, Rodrigo Munoz, good to see you. Benito, how are you? Hello to everyone in the community. We'll return soon with another report, and tonight we'll have an in-depth discussion about world events.